And we're back. Some quick technical difficulties, but right back into the action here once again. It's B4 taking a 0-2 lead. Sorry about missing those first two rounds. Again, some technical difficulties taking place. But it is going to be a couple of saved guns from that last force by. B4 won it pretty confidently. And they're starting off with a much better kickoff to this map than it was on Dust 2.
Most certainly, right? I mean, if you win this round, you've already gotten more than you did on the entirety of that second map. But both of these maps have been relatively quick. I mean, you started with a 16-5, you have the second one be a 16-2, and now all of a sudden you go to the penultimate map, and it looks like B4 ready to just turn this one up again. Really good start here to this force by two, rather, I'd say eco round. It's more as for the Corinthians, but getting hunted down at every single avenue. It doesn't even look like Delboni's going to be alive very much longer. Peeking around the AC unit, the Molotov forces him into the commitment. And B4 are inches away from a 3-0 start.
This player spotted as well, Denoco. Not going to be able to get away with too much here. He has dropped the bomb, interestingly enough, but that'll be reclaimed, and that should be securing things pretty quickly. Corinthians want to be closing themselves out another. Numbers being punched in. Denoco is going to go for a little something here, spotted out here towards Evan. He's just going to rape down the fence. Not interested in retaking this one. There's no real need for a hunt for B4 either, because you know that Denoco's going to be investing in, but they're closing in on him.
Yeah, it's just a 5-7, bro. There ain't really no reason to put this much emphasis on taking that gun out of his hands, but eventually he's going to peek up through secret, and Piscalil should have his name written down. No, bit of a whiff, but honestly, better not that he loses that gun, because now he gets to upgrade to the AK.
Yeah, good trade right there. You're happy with that. If you're Denoco as well, I mean, probably a solid way to exit a round right there. You still have plenty of money to go around. Maybe you would have liked to keep the armor because he only has a molly and a flashbang now, but all things considered, Corinthians still bringing in a very solid buy here, so they're definitely going to be looking to punish off the back of that. See if we can get a more competitive affair in this last map as well, man, because it has been nothing but sweeps so far in this best of 3.
That's a way to start it. I mean, you got the off showing up here early on, but still gonna need a little bit more out of him. The requirement's set with not just one pick being there. It's 4-on-4, and he takes some space back over in Hut, but he'll have to be very hot on the heels if he wants to stop this one from coming through Denoco. Flash goes high, but it doesn't pop in time. His downfall might lead to B4's uprising as the site's taken out of their control. CK Zhao is gonna have to either pop open a window or the double doors to try to crawl this one back. And they keep finding picks, 1-for-1 on the trade, expecting a man to be over in control. They all line up for him, and Reelzen's got yet another trade to be offered up. It's up to the Opera to find this one-on-one, and look at this from Reelzen. No, okay, I thought he was going to go back up the fence.
Well, so does ZQK, it seems.
Uh-oh.
He's making a lot of noise here, though, and is he actually reading this too well? Reelzen yet to even start the plant just yet, so I wonder what he has in store for buying a lot of time for ZQK to claim some space. In the meantime, he's just going to sit on top of the fence. Reelzen, 40 seconds left, but no moves being made. He's still just holding on to that bomb on the site.
The thing is, right now, for sure, Reelzen is not going to be going back up for an upper-sided transition. At this point in time, considering how much space, or rather how much time you've wasted over towards B, going up at A would just kind of be tossing away the round. 5 bullets, though. He's not going to opt for the reload just yet. In fact, taps the plant. Let's CQK get ever so much closer. And this op, while it's going to not pose as much of a threat as it possibly could at short range, still going to be worrying to go against. And yeah, that's why all it takes is one lucky shot, one nice connection, and the Corinthians find themselves their first CT round. And it's still close, right? You still only survive with one player, so B4 have that window of opportunity to shut down the money, but it is still a start that they'll take.
Yeah, opening up the door, closing it right in B4's face. But like you said, it's a very close bomb being planted here, and you know, all good signs to kick things off here for B4. It does lead us into a tech boss.
It could also be a timeout. Remember, in these best of ones, you don't necessarily get timeouts. Do you get timeouts? I thought it was literally just you get 5 minutes of pauses and that's it.
So actually there's a difference here. The pause that doesn't have an expiration date is tech, I think, and then like you call a vote by like how you do in matchmaking for a pause for actual tech pauses, I believe. At least that's how it should be. I think a couple of teams have been loose with the pauses.
Yeah. I don't think either team is really going to be complaining. It's like, whatever. You can tell both of these teams have been having a good time all day. It's like when they were even getting blown out on Mirage, Corinthians were still having a gif and gaff with them over with the text chat. I mean, the same thing goes for B4 on Dust 2. So it's not like either one of these teams are sweating to the point where it's like, oh, no, man, you can't use these balls. It's just whatever.
Yeah, I think that's really how a third place decider for a replacement position should be. It should be a little bit fun, or not as much pressure on your shoulders. I mean, I guess it's still like, again, it's a desperation play if you want to make this position, but it's your last option. So maybe there's a bit of pressure on this win, but as long as there's no issues and everything should go as it should be. You got some people taking their silencers off your elbow. Put that back on.
Come on now. That skin already as it is overrated. You ain't gotta make it look worse.
CK Zhao, he maxed out his DPI.
I know. I mean, if you know me, you know that was all an attempt to bait a civil war. Print stream is overrated. Not a bad skin. I'm not saying it's bad, right? But it is certainly overrated. Okay, that's... Zhaw's having a party. So is Del Boni. Here. We're having a grand old time, huh?
They are. What is going on?
It's just the duality, bro. I love it. You switch back to suplex. Like, you look at B4 right now, they're just buckled down, cracking the knuckles. You go to the Corinthian side, and they're just popping the party poppers, bro.
This guy, dude.
Look at the stamina on
I
this
know,
guy.
I'm like,
He's been
eventually...
going.
Eventually, you'd think you're gonna pause, but they just keep on spinning.
Tech pause to get the spin bot up and running.
Yeah. It's the classic MM strat, right? As soon as you see something disconnect, you start to worry. Your heart drops. Someone types in GG in chat, disconnects, you just know nothing good is going to happen when they join back. You're going to be looking at a whole lot of what CK Zhao's doing right there.
It's just unfortunate, though, because if this is their time for attack pause, they're going to have nothing left when they actually need it. And I'm not really sure what's going on with their teammate, but I don't know what the, what's the word I'm looking for here? What the window is for allowing, like, somebody to connect back, giving them time to actually fix the problems, or just having to force a substitution.
Not sure. Sure.
Oh, he's back.
That's good. Good timing. 1 minute left. Yeah, I mean, like
now
you said,
Zhao is plus writing.
Yeah, I know. I just have been watching it the whole time. So funny, man. So funny. But I still think they have 4 like tack timeouts. If they just call on the votes, but they definitely run low on the techs. So you gotta make sure that there's no more issues left. We get back into it though once again. Brief little pause, and once again we'll continue here. A lot of utility being thrown out towards that A side though in the early days.
Yeah, but the op brought out. Big boys here to play ZQK. Well, not necessarily brought out, but still in play. And I'd say the pressure's more on the CT side to perform in this round than the likes of B4, because again, all you have to do is continue to find 3 picks in these rounds, and you can just kick your feet up in the lawn chairs again and really wait for a response. Pushed up in Hut, though. This could be a bit over-aggressive for my liking from CK Zhao. It's an angle where you're not really going to be able to trade out your teammate, but it's also a high-risk, high-reward position.
I think they've heard some people falling off here. They're going to set up that AWP inside the ramp room. They've got a great crossfire as well. The initial shot doesn't connect. Duplex able to avoid it, and oh, what an entry right there. Nice coverage for the rest of his teammates to scale up. It's forced that ramp player off the line there, and now with that 4v5, they claim a crucial bit of map control. They're going to start to retake this lobby spot as well, and maybe you can start to make the move in towards this A side.
I don't know if I like the lobby retake, but I certainly like the idea that they've got going on because this backstab from Realton still hasn't necessarily been accounted for. And CK Zhao, I still think he is in a prime position to at least find one more rotation. Gonna be caught and heard from Denoco. And now a response is necessary, or is definitely needed. Yeah, there's two. Even sprinting up the vents, bomb dropped in the laps of the CT. This is what I was worried about. Reels in, running out of health and running out fast. Now he needs the assistance over from heaven.
20 seconds.
There is not a lot of time, you're right. And they're going to come peeking forward, Delboni. I don't think this is the way to play this. Even lining up with one another, this could be bad. Even spotting the barrel the second as he peeks out. And Torny saves the day before almost drop around that they should have had no business letting go. But the Corinthians now are eco-broken again.
Man, I feel like that proactivity right there from Corinthians wasn't really necessary in the 2v2. They did so much damage. They had the bomb in the palm of their hands. And I don't know if they realize this or not, but there's only 15 seconds left. I mean, that means they have to claim the bomb. They have to plant it all in a 2v2. This is not going to happen as easy as it sounds. And well, either way, it's closed out from B4 at the end of the day. Great play from Delboni or Tyranny to win that one.
Barring that no pistol shenanigans happen, a 5-1 start is really good for B4. Showing shades of what happened over on Mirage once more. I mean, this was about close, if not equivalent to how it started. I believe it was 6 rounds before B4 finally dropped one. When almost even dropping the first pick there, SHOOWTiME, the biggest weapon of the bunch, now dealt with. Thorny also committing to the same duel against the Deagle. It might not be the wisest alternative. Because now when you go back to this 4-on-4, you'll realize the advantage is in the favor of the Corinthians.
Answered back, though, with a couple of op shots. Ooh, nice one from CK Zhao. Can he control the spray in time? Trade still favoring the CT side. A lot of HP advantages here, and they're going to walk back into ZQK. Big shot from him. W1 left into the 1v2, and they make this round look very confident. Delboni diving through the smoke. He's got a blindside him, and the CZ to finish the job right there. Incredibly clean. Op recovered AK as well, and Corinthians, they give themselves a bit of a lifeline right there with the eco victory.
Yeah, you're definitely exchanging blow for blow on these ecos, because now it's the pistols coming out for B4. If not an awkward force spot, yeah, Reelson's just going to go down to the AK, and everybody else in the understanding that this is going to have to be a force.
Yeah, kind of in that territory, right, where you have to go for the investments. Matios has a Deagle and full utility, but no armor in this one as well, so E4 not bringing too much here. Oh, ZQK with an easy pick off right there. SHOOWTiME going to double it up, and this force buy has no teeth to it. Immediately swiped aside so far.
Yeah, 3-on-5. It's already looking a bit bleak. SHOOWTiME behind the smoke. Misses his opportunity. Deagle pulled out. But he still manages to maintain onto that kill with the USP. Sidearm is all that's required. And still the Corinthians have yet to take one tag of damage. You're welcome, B4. I helped you out. That's so unfortunate, bro. SHOOWTiME literally swings squeaky off of that flash.
Got a perfect flash for you. Just trust me. It was all a ruse, though. CK Zhao just hunting for some kills. Very solid recovery right there, and after the singular kill coming through. And now it's going to be Corinthians that have to make their names known here with the CT side, right? I mean, they are starting to build some momentum, stringing some rounds together. They finally cracked the economy as well of B4, so... And you can kind of see where this leaves them off at. You can give them a great bit of momentum. They can try and carry that into what should be some nice string of rounds.
It's going to be a quick rush out, Squeaky 2. Should be a quick farm up. Yep, 3-4 almost on the A1S. Pulling out the sidearm again, and SHOOWTiME shuts it down. Tied up as we head to the 9.
But as easy as it gets right there, making quick work of the eco. Love to see it. Just a simple farm up. And now, the AKs come back as soon as you like for B4 at the very least. They get themselves investments to be brought out. Can they make work of it, though? Right now, you're seeing some very promising defensive setups. You're actually getting some back and forth between these two teams as well, which is fun to see because so far we've only gotten blowouts.
It's usually how it goes, right? When the first 2 maps are a blowout, the third one is always going to be neck and neck and as competitive as ever. I feel like that's always the case.
Yeah, I have to agree, man. For some weird reason. What a shot, man. What? Threading the needle there completely. SHOWTiME, though, is showing face. Trying to get out of dodge here, playing around the one way of the smoke. He has a great gap here. They're not going to expect him to stick around, surely. Yeah, they completely get blindsided by that. I'm sure they expected a follow-up, but SHOWTiME sticking around there is bold move, and it pans out so well.
We talk about how this game is competitive, but apparently it's going to be one-sided here as time continues forward. So you can bring back this 2-on-4. I mean, we saw, what was it, the last series of... Or what wasn't a series, rather. It was just Arctic versus Issares. They brought back a couple of scenarios similar to this, so maybe B4 can maintain a little bit of that energy coming in, but it is a completely different unit, completely different team, and they don't even seem to have that much confidence in pulling this one back as the movement stands. Like, there's 50 seconds, and they're still just looking for picks around outside. Oh, that's a bad pick, too.
Jeez.
At least it's not the bomb, but what really is Torny going to do?
Not going to be able to do much, that's for sure. 30 seconds left, and you can call this one curtains, that's for sure. So lead going to be snagged back here from Corinthians. That's very solid stuff as well. They definitely needed to get the CT side rolling. That's what they've just done here.
Who knows if this is going to be a competitive game just yet? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, Corinthians, they were down 4-1, and all of a sudden they've found 4 rounds in a row. So, bottom line, is this going to stay competitive? I'm not too sure if that's going to be the case very much longer. You're going back to another eco. The Corinthians probably destined for a 6th. And again, we look to B4 to try to adapt to what's being thrown at them. This time on the T side.
Yeah, you might be right. It's still very early on in the half, and we did see B4 start things off with a pretty early lead, so maybe that's going to cause some issues here. Now that they're starting to slow down, losing their grip on this momentum. And Corinthians, and a lot of these gun rounds, even, you know, with full buys and stuff, B4 aren't really doing anything of note, at least. Not getting bomb plants, not doing damage. Instead, they're going to walk into another one of these fast plays on the eco, the half buy, walking right into Denoco. But a nice trade. It's pretty solid. Suplex finds the answer, and now they're going to start to make their movement towards the lower side of things. Unlucky.
Dude, he literally lined up for it. If he didn't walk into the crosshair, that would have been a free kill. All of a sudden, that would be, what, 4-on-3? Rifles to be picked back up. Now it seems like desperation. Again, it's not a round they really should have been contending for, but, Realson, why are you turning this into a reality? They're both down at the lower bomb, throwing out Deagle over in the bench, but he misses the shots. Torny could have won them that round. And now wherever Realson decides to turn, he's going to have to take a fight. And it's not one that favors him. Delboni catches the timing as he moves up into heaven, and the Corinthians hang on.
Nico Deagle moment right there, man. Oh, no.
Jesus.
Had his chance to solidify things, man. You're not going to get too many opportunities like that, and that slipping through your fingers. It looked like it was going to be a very good eco, just not quite closing it out at the end of the day. At least you do some damage, and I just said they didn't do too much on this T side so far.
Oh my god. Stop shooting each other! It's not that hard!
Oh god.
Like, damn! Oh, no, okay. Alright. That was another one of those moments where you're just like, come on, pull the trigger, man.
I know. Just a Glock right there at the very least. They're taking a lot of space, though, towards this ramp side of things earlier than maybe in previous rounds, which could be a promising adaptation. But Denoco utilizing his utility so well. Smoke comes through as soon as they start to group up towards this ramp room, so it's going to buy themselves another 15 or so seconds. And it's going to keep them at bay for the meantime. Even maybe enough time for SHOWTiME to actually come through and drop his smoke as well, so B4 struggling here a little bit.
Now they're going to try to crack into the ramp room hold. Denoco is the first man on the line of defense, but they instantly crack off his dome, and SHOWTiME's going to have to put up a show if he wants to hold this round down for the Corinthians, and that's exactly what he delivers.
What?
Switching to the sidearm to connect on the 4th. Bomb lies right in his lap, and Realson is in no commanding position to try to pull this back. 36 seconds. By the time he can even think to try to take some of these fights, the round will already be over, so he just calls it a save on the AK. I still think this is a bit of a bad play. I think even running into your death would be a better alternative here, because you're going to be completely split up from your team economy-wise.
Yeah, it's tough to be in positions like this where you have max loss bonus. So sure, like, it's always nice to have an extra round with an AK. You'll never not like that, but like you said, the team play aspect of it, holding on to this AK might actually cause some concern at the end of the day. And we'll see if he can even do that. I mean, in the office of angles. Oh, God. You got blinded up by that flash. Could have gotten scary. The SHOOWTiME's on 16 and 8.
I feel like he's not usually a player we see farming for the Corinthians. I mean, I'm not discrediting him by any means. I'm just saying, like, usually I feel like it's ZQK or Delboni or Zhao.
Yeah. I mean, he's had his moments so far in the RMR where I've definitely seen him lead the pack, but not in, like, this sort of fashion, right? Not in just utter domination, especially in that last round, man. I mean, what was that? 3 kills and then whips out the USP for the 4th.
I don't know if we're talking about the right round here because they come sprinting down the vents. And again, the only person in this B site right now is Denoco. Answering one of his own. The trades are there, but the flank is as well. So I think as soon as you go to punch in these digits, you're going to get your back caught off. Matios doesn't opt to go down the bench just yet. If he did, he would have found this free pick on his Zhao, and he might still do that, even turning back around. No. Timing favors the bold. ZQK sticks around for extra credit, and now reels in again, left in the 1v3. This time he's going to give it a go-ahead. And he at least drops the op in ZQK, but with lacking health, what does he opt to do? Making a lot of noise as he leaves over towards Secret. Maybe repositioning around the vent side, but I think with every second you give to the Corinthians, they're going to get hunting, and they're going to be figuring this out. Even turning his attention back around, I think Zhao is ready for this play to come through, just jiggling down, not necessarily committing to the peak yet. And SHOOWTiME catches him as soon as he decides to touch down. 8-4, a 1/2 regardless, but how far will it extend?
It's a question here. B4, I've given over a string of rounds here. Now that's going to be 7 in a row for Corinthians with nothing to respond upon. Money stacking up very high, looking comfortable as ever. Only really seen a lot of success on ecos as well, which is, I don't think, really a good thing at the end of the day. I mean, sure, it's something you'll take, but it's not like a game-winning formula to have very good ecos when your gun rounds fall so flat.
Yeah, and this really hot and hefty start B4 got off to open up this game is completely fizzled out once again. It just seems like when the adaptation comes through from the Corinthians, B4 falls silent, and there is no counter-adaptation. It's just that way for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's not a position you want to be in at all. You want to be being able to have some sort of adaptation, right? Some sort of mid-round. And I will say, it was a good start for B4, right? They looked like they immediately got rid of their Dust 2 woes. They head into this one and they look a whole lot better. It looked like they might have wiped that from their memory, but maybe it's coming back into call here now that they are struggling so much. Again, Denoco, multi-kill from him, locking down the ramp room, dropping the bomb, has support from the upper, and again, textbook round right there from Corinthians. Perfect rotations, perfect position from your upper, and a big multi-kill from your anchor. It's about as clean as it gets.
Gotta say, man, at this point, it's not necessarily something just unfortunate. Reelsen's got to start thinking more about what his team is doing. He is on a complete island these past couple of rounds. Almost every single one of them has come down to him in this next to impossible to win situation. I mean, maybe it's not all his fault. Could be calling for him to go for these lurk plays, but they need to start changing that around because his impact is so limited when you're sprinting into ramp room, losing 3-4 players, and then leaving him in a clutch that's just not, like, returnable.
Yeah, I mean, that bodes the question, though. Is it his fault that he's on that island, or is it just, you know, B4 not finding any map control with the pack, right? 4 players walk around the corner, and it's a 1-for-4 trade. That's a big issue on the CT side. Again, trying to make their way down. CKSL is going to be hauled on their heels, and they do turn around in time. Nice kill from Suplex to delete him and to avoid some of that aggression here. Picked up an AK as well, but Denoco is not giving up. He's not letting go. He's going to drop the bomb here, and for good thing, because if he went down, it would have been a 1-on-2 for ZQK.
Worried there for a second. I still kind of am. This is very, very close. And they haven't exchanged guns either. You'd assume this would be a moment of Bogdan's Law, but it's just not happening. Now transitioning back down. This is one that Reelsen can potentially pull back. AUG isn't even a common weapon that we see nowadays, and the footsteps are heard. ZQK just going to hard post in on the single door. As soon as you cross back, well, you baited out the shot of the AWP, but Now you've got to hope that your ramp player can find this frag onto the top, or rather, onto the Raptor player in Denoco.
Spotted him. I think Rilson's seen him. Just barely getting a glimpse.
That's a bad molly. Oh, ZQK, oh, what is this overextension? They really want to try to hunt down this ramp player, and if that kill didn't go their way, then the entire round would have gone south.
Oh no, he smoked himself off.
What is going on here? Is he just going to call it a save? He's going back around the double doors.
He's throwing down another smoke towards single door right there, and you don't want to walk through that one. Opening up the door right in ZQK's face, but he's so ready for it. And that's going to be double digits grabbed right there. They do hold on. Again, another round where the Tech 9s look promising for B4, but it's only with those Tech 9s. It's never on these gun runs that they're able to pull through with any success, and even on the Tech 9 rounds where they look good, it's not round conversions either, so I don't know. It's a scary position to be in.
This whole situation is scary for B4. I'm just hoping they can end it off at least with one little more breath. Get this 5th round. 10-5 ain't all that bad, but it's already off to a really rough start. I mean, even jumping down the vent, so much damage taken. Reelson down to 1 HP. Molly's going to cover the flank so they can hopefully get control of the site and get these digits punched in, which has been a big issue for them historically. And yeah, they are going to be able to layer in some of these kills. Good stuff for B4 on this offense. And it looks like maybe they'll crack the code into getting another one of these rounds out. Turns around, but he's not going to be good for the double. And as they all come pushing into the ramp room, it seems like Reelson's got them lined up. Just peppering in bullets hopelessly, but still the Glock to finish it off means B4 ended on that high note and grabbed themselves a 5th.
Love what they did there, though. I mean, they've seen the success that the Vent Drop has given them. Every single Tech 9 round. They do it with the rifles, and it actually goes their way, so not a bad play. I like the adjustment. Came a little bit late, though. That's the issue. 10-5 scoreline. You know, not the end of the world for a T-side, I will say. But Corinthians walking into this T-side, I think historically have just been very good on that compared to their defense. We'll see if that trend stays true here on Nuke T-side.
Again, a pistol could be the beginning of the end here for the Corinthians, but they decide to play this one a little bit slower. I mean, it feels like both of these teams, when they're feeling it, they are so easily able and capable to get these pistol wins. Flash goes into the ramp room, though, as I think right now they're just trying to spread the defense thin, right? Cause a bit of a commotion or ruckus and maybe catch them off with some chaotic movements, but 4-on-4 isn't necessarily what they were hoping for. Tarny, almost caught out on a really weird angle at the top of Hut. They pulled 2 players into A site, though, and where's Suplex right now? Has he come up through heaven? I think he has.
Yeah, everyone's here. There's no one on the B-bomb site, and that's where they're going to start to hit. They have the Denoco here, hearing this reposition. A lot of presence in through the vents, and oh, he has a flank. So he's just going to join his teammates here on the B-bomb site instead of trying to pull off that flank, but it's becoming very awkward now. Dooley's being able to find an opening right there, but it's all limited to just 1 kill so far in the retake. No kit for Tarny either. Picks it up on his way in, but gets nailed to the wall right there from ZQK. It's 5-11, and 15 kills for ZQK. There you go.
Only a little bit closer to the finish line here for the Corinthians after a very long day and a very long RMR. Inches away from securing that reimbursement spot case it's needed. Obviously, again, neither one of these teams is confirmed for the RMR, but they're both battling just for that chance.
Great opportunity, right? I mean, if you get called up, you want to be in a position where you're the one that they're calling, right? So that's what it's all about. What is that, dude? CK Zhao. A couple shots peppered through the smoke. Gonna take care of that ramp player about as easy as it gets for a man advantage right there. No risk on that. And 4v5 here, you think it's just not gonna go well for B4.
Well, certainly not. And they're just going to play passive too, the Corinthians. This is a specialty of theirs, right? When they find these openers, they're not scared to just back off and wait for the re-aggression to come through. B4 giving it to them as well. I mean, for a second there was a chance for a couple of kills to come through outside. But right now, the chance lies over in the ramp room. Trade comes back, but space is taken in response. The Corinthians still going to have a little more of an aim duel. And these Deagles are starting to cause some problems. Players around both sides of the coin tell Boney which one does he opt to hold. So far, it's just going to be pushing down the Deagle in single door, so a little bit of safety given for this plant to come through Double door swings open, and the trade comes right back out. Still 2-on-2 as this is neck and neck.
Haven't been able to plant yet either. Tarny. He's going to go back up the vent side of things here, and maybe for good reason. Look at this play from Tarny. He's watching the vents, both players heading in that direction. 25 seconds left on the clock. You do think they're going to head that way, but instead they're going to start to flank in upon this player in double door. Matios doesn't realize what he's in for. They find that kill. That's so composed right there. Oh, no. You're overthinking it. Tarny. Oh, I think he spotted the legs. They're going to go back down. What is happening? 8 seconds left. Is there enough time for ZQK? He's just going to get it, but they're going to be a flank coming through. He's just going to chase him down. Tarny knows it. Rounding the corner. ZQK going to drop. What was that round?
I mean, it's just blatantly overthinking it. They had the B site. They had the backlanes control. All you have to do there is identify that the only place he can stop the plant from coming through is around the single door. You plant for single, have a player sit around blue, and then if that door swings open or if he comes in for the peek, it's just a one-on-one trade at the very worst situation. But the Corinthians try to get way too special with it, try to get way too crafty, and they are honestly punished for what should not have been going their way.
Yeah, I mean, like the first part of that even in the 2v2 was so perfect. They were playing together. They cleared out, like you had said, the entirety of that B side. They had nothing to worry about right there. After they find that kill, they clear out double doors. Maybe they have to worry about control, but that's a big maybe because he was kind of focused in on that. Like, why would there be a player there? So, I don't know. Big gimme right there. B4 has a massive lifeline granted to them, but they have to capitalize upon it.
Oh, and these rifles are going to start to get chewed away at 4-on-3, but again, the A side is now fielded control in the favor of the Corinthians, even looking for more ZQK. A lucky connection onto the lower player, but still, there is no response to be had right now from B4.
They're all on B. Everyone's on
Not
B right now.
on the slightest.
Yeah, they're going to have heaven control here. They're going to have cutoff points. Delboni's in prime position, and there's still a player on 1 HP, so this round not looking pretty here for B4. Again, like I had said, you have to capitalize on the advantage you've just given yourself, and they're looking at potentially losing that. They're saving?
Can't blame them, right? Money's not there. Keep your guns into the next. See if you can't run back the success that you had found in rounds prior. It's not like there's nothing to go off of, right? Definitely a confidence factor.
I guess fair enough, right? Been able to win around with a lot less, so makes sense. It's just a tough pill to swallow.
I mean, they kind of deserve the 12th round anyway, to be quite honest with you. Like, if we think about how that last round was won by B4, it wasn't really anything to think of like, oh, B4 just played that really well. No, it was more the Corinthians making a boneheaded mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. So they do reclaim it, right? No harm, no foul, I guess, at the end of the day. It's still going to give them a little bit of advanced firepower here in this round. AKA 1S. And a lot of utility, in fact, as well. So it's still scary for B4. And thank goodness they went for that save. I don't think they had any business getting that retake going with the post plants that Corinthians had. We'll see how this one pans out, though, because if they drop this, then that's where we can start to be looking at the end of days for B4s. You know, maybe that call will never come because you didn't secure yourself third place. Spam being tossed through the smoke, about tit for tat on the HP. Oh.
Really good opener, too. I mean, this is the end-all be-all force buy from B4. If you're unable to close this one out right here, this is going to be the Corinthians moving up to easily 14, if not further than that.
And they're looking to make their waves in. Opening pick. Anything extra? Right now, giving up absolutely nothing at the moment. On the CT side, not reaggressing in any avenues. Maybe for the best, because that's what Corinthians are waiting for here. Instead, they're kind of gambling on the safe side of things. You have a quick rotate from Heaven. Nice smoke thrown in as well from Matios. Gonna buy valuable time. Ramp is the best avenue for this T side. If they want to head that way, it would be ideal. W1's deep in towards that J Hall. A side definitely not looking tantalizing for them. But if that's where they want to head, they're in for a massive risk.
Full A side execute's gonna come out, and so will the Corinthians through the single or and hut. Set up well to try to counter this is B4, and that's exactly why they find these opening couple of kills. An absolute shutdown as soon as you come barreling through the funnel. SHOOWTiME trying to tap away for the player over at the second bench, but I don't even think this kill is going to be that realistic to try to attain. W1 trying to, I thought he was going to get flanked. I thought realism was going to try to hustle his bustle up, but no, it's W1 to find it instead. Still 5 rounds in the deficit, but they stay alive. The Corinthians might have to work a little harder than they would have hoped.
No doubt. B4. With a round like that, swiftly answering back here. It's back and forth. Again, man, these third maps after, you just see some dominant sweeps. I feel it's very insane how these two teams able to stay mentally in this game so well. And especially if you're B4, right? You just got swept aside on Dust 2. You had nothing good looking your way. Even starting off this game, it looked like that same thing was going to happen again. And now they're starting to punch back on this defense, and it was so necessary. Flash is good. It allows for ZQK to find the opener, and now things can become scary.
Still 4-on-4, and they keep trying to find more, but in doing so, they're overextending their own 1v1 advantages. Feels like every time B4 win one of these rounds, there's always something to look at in the way of Corinthians making a big error, and they keep giving up these solo peeks out. Even if you had the info on where he is, that's just a solo fight you're not going to win. Delboni is way behind the pack to try to contribute here, and it looks like B4 might have just broken the backs of the Corinthians off of what should have very easily been them, moving up to 13, if not 14.
Yeah, had the opening swiftly closed in their face, so Tarny gonna finish the job. And now it's 8-4 to close the distance, and likely going to be a very easy, simple round for B4 coming up as well, given the purchase. It was a little bit scary to start this half off with the back and forth that we got early on, but now that they're starting to string things together here, this game becomes a whole lot more intense for both camps.
Oh, sure. Right, again, we still stay even. We still stay very tight between these two teams, even though the scoreline might not say that. I mean, the way both teams are playing, I think you definitely disagree with what the score says.
Pretty easy, simple round here. Gonna chase him down into sort of ramp. Want to make sure you're keeping this one tidy, and that's exactly what they'll do. Dropping the bomb, Delboni, and SHOOWTiME. Where are they at?
Hey, man, they're living the dream. They know one of them's on top hut, though. They spotted the shoulder, rather the shadow, and SHOOWTiME, man. I think you're just reaching at this point. Definitely worth to just get it over with, get these rifles back out, and see if you can't continue the campaign forward, because B4 are making a case for themselves here on this CT side.
No doubt about it, man. Quickly moving on up right there. Corinthians might be starting to sweat, especially if they don't win this round. B4 going to be hot on their tails. And when you talk about comebacks coming through, the CTs out of Nuke is exactly where you want to be in this sort of scoreline, right? Where you're building that momentum and starting to look to close things out here. This time, though, a pack unit here for Corinthians. 5 players heading out towards the outer yard. Everyone's grouped together. Everyone's trying to pressure. But there's so much presence from the CT side. Still, they're all going down. It's up to Suplex to recover. 2 kills to answer a pack, and he's still being so elusive. Through this poke, Delboni's going to go down. They hold on to that man advantage, and yeah, Suplex is going to be able to get out of dodge, but still, they're standing at a deficit.
Honestly, I kind of like this. I like them not necessarily focusing on the outer yard player, because with that in mind, you know at most there's only one person to defend down this lower bomb site, and they're going to try to fake this out. Bomb making it transition back up into the upper bomb site, and they have properly baited out the defense, considering one went around secret and one went down B to try to defend it. The bomb's gone down, and you're playing a 2-on-2 post plan here.
You can set yourself up in some very strong positioning, though, to double up in towards heaven. They don't know this. They don't know exactly where W1 is. They might have heard some footsteps, though. So both players heading in that direction. And they're going to get that paint can smoke as well. There's 2 mollies to be thrown out, and this could be a scary retake.
I thought for a second one of them was going to go around heaven, the other was going to bait. That would have had, you would have had to have a lot of faith in your team to close that out. But you don't need faith when you've got skill like that. SHOOWTiME continues his streak of dominance. 22 kills. I mean, he's got a lineup if they try to stick this defuse, but he's not going to attempt it regardless. Taking the kill with them, Corinthians move up to 13.
After long last, everyone going to go down in the server, but at least Corinthians finding themselves a T round right there, and they force some respect from B4. Because it looked like B4 had the perfect read on the situation right there. They have 3 players towards that outer yard, but the opening picks go Corinthians' way instead. And in a big fashion, man, because it all came down to that early start. Yo, were they going to get swept aside on another gun round, or were Corinthians going to punch back? And we got our answer.
Tenfold. But the guns are still out from B4. It's not doomsday just yet, but again, considering how low the funds are past this point, it is if you lose. Because that wouldn't just mean 14. That wouldn't mean you get the rifles back out after it. No, that means you give up series point. And again, require yourselves to find 6 in a row.
I execute being thrown out. Again, it seems like they're trying to bait out some presence here. Keep some attention drawn in. In the meantime, the real attack going to be made in towards the lower side of things here. 3 plays in towards secret. Jump spot converted. W1 knows. That's the sight line here.
I mean, I tend to agree, but it's like there are no players coming in on assistant through rotation. And they've just walked out into B.
What? W1 jump spotted them.
This is going to get really awkward. Uh-oh, Dinoco spotted him, I think. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. And he's going to go around through the ramp room. Oh, my God, this is so deadly. Because W1's angle is sure going to be good for 1, but no way, suplex! That literally would be the game. Right there, or at least saving their own game, because if he didn't find that frag, if he goes down 5-on-4 with absolutely no control for the CT side, is so damn detrimental. 5-on-3 though, and a couple of players now going to try to make their moves down towards secret. CZQK is just sat here to try to distract them. He's only buying time though. No kills found, and they've yet to clear out Zhao. Oh boy, you sneaky little devil. But he is only good for that one. Molly's going to go on the doors. The Op tries to pull it back, but in the end, it's just going to go the way of B4. Really good conversion from them.
I'm having serious trouble keeping up with this round right there, but either way, B4 as calm and composed as ever. Right there, despite so much positioning advantage going in the way of Corinthians, you can see how well they play off each other, how well they're reading this offense as well. They wait for that first lurk to go down towards the Vince. They find him in mini. They wait for that they don't actually wait. They go and fight that second lurk in towards the hubby there in mid, and or outer yard, and it's so sick to see. I mean, they're so well versed in what Corinthians are throwing at them, so again, you can see for good reason why they're making their way back into this game. But what is that shot, Dinoco? That is so sick.
Opener on the Deagle, responded back. Matios isn't going to let that one extend the advantage all that far. 3-on-4, and again, they want to convert down towards the lower bomb site, but they're going to be met by some heavy resistance. Gun picked up, ZQK bomb on his back. He's again just going to try to get the plant in, but you've still got to crack through a couple more. Yeah, even this seems a bit desperate. 16 HP, going to try to plant inside of the smoke. Last bullet connects, and B4 walk up to 11.
That they do. And it leaves a lot to be desired in this buy coming through as well. Some lacking utility here. Galil's in play for Corinthians. You can see that pressure could be getting to their head here. B4 slowly scaling up. It was that one round on the rifles that had come out that had really worked for Corinthians so far. So, and that was really off the back of, I think, maybe B4 playing a little bit too confident. I don't think they're going to make that same mistake.
Oh, absolutely not. But, I mean, B4 are one more good conversion away from tying this game back up. From getting rid of that lead that once loomed so triumphantly over them. Bomb dropped, even leg spotted. W1 stepped up to the plate in these past couple of rounds. And now the only way you can deny this is with a 2-on-5 bringback. And B4 playing this so smart, using up that utility. Delboni's gotten the trade, but it already seems too far too late.
They've got great positioning right now. Charney's got full control of this lobby reposition. Matios has control of Hell and Ramp, and the rest of the players going to bolster up that B side here. Matios has a freebie. Lash of Life is on 40 HP, and Delboni's good, but far too much to ask. It looks like we're going to get a tied scoreline on our cards here because Corinthians can find no solutions.
They don't need solutions, man. Or at least, I'm sorry, the Corinthians do, but B4 don't. I don't think the Corinthians need solutions, though, to be honest. I think they need cheats, man. They need some more assistance. Because, I mean, even in a couple of these rounds when the rifles have come out, they've had big advantages. They've had so much to work with. I mean, case in point was that last rifle where they were able to somehow sneak a player in ramp and behind the AWPer, but it's literally just a whiff that cost some big time in the end. This time, again, they're going to go for this vent dive, but still aren't able to add up any kills before things go awry.
That's
and
bomb.
The bomb is dropped in squeaky.
Yeah, this one, again, I don't think they know that bomb's dropped, though, so maybe that's one solid conversion rate that they have going for them. But, okay, everyone just dies in an instant as I say that. Nothing good taking place for Corinthians other than a singular kill. And now we're back to a tied scoreline here. B4 have really strung things together. They're keeping themselves alive and making it so very close.
Extremely close, man. I mean, these two teams are neck and neck, but you feel like B4 are going to have the upper hand considering they're on the CT side of fair, and they have been shutting down these rifle rounds, bro. If they do it again, map point. And the banks are built up for them, so they aren't going to have to worry about funds for the rest of the game. Oh, that's a mean game. Maybe not so much. I thought it was going to be bigger.
So often do with HEs. Sometimes they're duds. But we'll see if this T side can actually give some explosive. This to it because so far
that's a bad hot rod, I gotta say. That's a bad hot rod.
missed
Shout out
it.
to my traders. You can tell. The thing is with hot rods, they're always garbage unless they're 002 or lower.
I mean,
Don't say
I'll
it.
trust
Don't
your
say it.
opinion.
That was back in the day. That was like the hot iron, man.
Alright, gonna hit the deck though at the moment. That's a big pick right there. Dinoco keeping things even when things have gone wrong. It does need B4 to turn their attention towards this outer yard position. They've got a player sneaking in towards hell as well, so things could become complicated here. Reelson spots out ahead. It's all a bait though. He chases them down. He's gonna find the kill, but Dinoco's on top. They're finding the trade there as quick as you like. Now they're gonna collapse in up on this A side here. It's a big kill from ZQK. Can he spot the AWPer? One shot rattling off from Suplex. He needs to find more. He's gonna get spammed down. W1. He has to make noise if he wants to make his way into this round. He's just made it, opening up that single door here, and the numbers get punched in. They know exactly where he is. Corinthians have figured out how to keep their lead, it seems, finally. W1 doesn't even want to go for this.
Oh, 100%. You've got so much cash to mess around with, bro. There's no reason to not give this one the light of day. First things first, though, he's going to have to crack through this AWP of ZQK, and it's positioned so well to try to counter the exact push coming through that I just think this one's already chalked up. Yeah, this is going to be a 14th. The Corinthians, you're right. That lead going to be hung on to. Actually, hold up. Hold on a second. W1. Gotten a little further forward than I would have anticipated. He's going to walk into the... What is he doing? What is he... Wait, what? Dude, what are you... He could have literally defused the bomb!
I don't know if there's enough time, but definitely better than what he just did right there. Imagine. I don't think anyone could have stopped him.
No, they couldn't have. They both were in squeaky.
Oof.
Also, to confirm, it's .0204.
Okay. Well, there you go. The more you know. I'm sorry this hot rod is getting slandered. I would love to. What a nice hot rod. I think I'm still on the atomic alloy at the moment. That thing is a ugly gun, but what is that? SHOOWTiME dry peeking? The outer yard. I feel like that's rule number 1, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he just commits to that fight, too, right? Usually players are going to jiggle up there to see what the outlooks are going to be. I mean, B4 haven't put too much of a presence here, I gotta say. And when they have, it's usually been around minis, so... Probably unexpected lapse in judgment there for the Corinthians, but it comes at probably the worst time.
I mean, an op shot like that is about as easy as it gets right there, so...
Oh, yeah.
If you're Suplex, even posting up there is, like, not typical for an opera, just given the fact that you're going to smoke that flash head off almost every single round. So the fact that he gets away with that kill is such a lifeline and such a big mistake, like you had said, in what could be the all-important round here. You know, money on the line. And it all comes down to this here. Utility being thrown out. Everyone looking to make their way in towards mini or maybe continue their split towards this outer yard, but they're walking into suplexes up. He splits the difference, though, in between two. He's able to reposition in towards heaven.
I mean,
now they're going to start to
it's
close
starting
in.
to not matter. Like, Hell is being covered by W1. They can let Heaven go into the control of the T side right now. Look at the time. There's 30 seconds left and still so much utility left for the CT side to keep them out of this A site. 26 seconds, Pink Kent Smoke's going to get thrown through, and finally they deliver back some good news. With that in mind, they're going to go dropping down into the lower site, and even doubling down is Matios. Bomb, where is it? It's on the back of ZQK. They want to make an attempt at the upper take, but still losing players by the second. 12 seconds to go, and ZQK is going to call this one off. 14-0, the op saves, and they're going to be forced up to go for an investment in the next round.
Scary, scary stuff right now, man. But as close as it gets. 30 required for the decider. Between these two teams, B4 grab it at the last second. Again, man, it doesn't guarantee you a position at this RMR, but it's so important that they close this out. Just at the off chance that, you know, a team can't make it, right? That's what this is all about. But it does start to become a lot of pressure. I think that both teams definitely want this opportunity because it's the last chance that they can make it to the major. It'd be a long road ahead even if they got this spot for them because they'd have to make it through the RMR. But this is your only avenue. So you got to take the scraps that you got left. And with a 14-14 side scoreline, it doesn't get any more scary for both sides.
Realize they haven't really forced into this, and I don't know if I'm entirely agreeing with this because you have ZQK on the AWP, and it's the last chance you're going to have with the big green. So unless he, again, is able to pull it back into the next round, which is, I mean, you'd think easier said than done. I guess I'll give credit to the Corinthians because surprisingly enough, they are always able to pull these saves out of the hat. But, like, this could very well be the last round you get to work with it, and they don't buy well around it. They've got one AK, and that's it.
Terrifying prospect here. But that one AK is able to step up for a kill, turning his attention towards Mini as well, dropping that rifle down to a teammate with the armor, making this round very, very scary here. They are able to continue to snowball into this B site. Matios going to step out. What a beautiful headshot from him. No utility to throw out, but now they can set up a crossfire. Suplex going to show his shoulder. He gets traded, though, as quick as ever. There's still Matios hanging about inside the vents, but can he find anything else extra? Dalboni going to fall to him. Another kill delivered from this guy. He's stepping up late in the game. And ZQK going to catch him as they go down the vent. One in. One more around the corner here, though. ZQK needs to find himself a big multi-kill. He's good in the clutch. He's good in these high-pressure situations, but Matios is escaping. He's buying so much time, and his flank from vent is already taking place.
But they've allowed him to get the bomb down, or at least they should be. Where has this flank come
Oh,
through?
wait, no.
Oh, not in time.
Reelson's
Reelson, what did he do? I mean, you heard him going back. Why would he just give up that angle? But now you do have to try to play as a unit here, play together, ensure that you go peek together. And even though the bomb goes down, that's what I'm talking about. You're not going to be able to afford this op. That's a big loss to take going into what could be the last round for the Corinthians.
I think they still have money for it if they so choose.
Do they want to go without all that utility, though?
That's a good question.
They do.
Those are answers. SHOOWTiME immediately investing into it.
Actually, I'm surprised at the amount of utility they're able to get up behind that. Maybe I'm just tripping.
They do have max loss bonus, right? 3,400 plus the bomb plant is huge. So the fact that ZQK was able to do that definitely gave them a huge lifeline. And this one still isn't enough, though, because T-side success for Corinthians has been few and far between. It hasn't been consistent.
Yeah, so far only 4 rounds to their name here. And this will be probably the only chance B4 have. At least I'm giving my master prediction with my my little crystal ball here. I think this will be the last chance B4 are gonna have to close this one out. You let this go to overtime, Corinthians have a newfound like mojo pep in their step. That's more momentum you've got to try to go against and counter. And so far, when the momentum is against them, it's been so difficult for them to find this success. But they don't have to answer to that just yet. They've already found a very clean pick on the opener.
Yeah, nice start. And if you take a look at where Suplex is, he spots out one towards back of red, but he's also going to spot out a lot of information here soon. I don't think they're going to expect him to be in this position. They're going to crouch right under the scope, but he's been spotted, and now pressure applied, headshot angles taken, and kill starting to swing in the way of the C's. But W1 recovers, and beautifully so, with 2 to answer back. Now this round becomes very difficult. Tarney's pushed up in towards mid corner. He's going to catch one blindsided. No trade either from CQK. So it will be B4 claiming that potential replacement spot, and Corinthians falling at the wayside right there in this RMR.
It's a very good call and response to come there for a B4 team that, I mean, even though they did have more success than the likes of the Corinthians in that second half, still was not a guarantee. There were rounds that are a bit sketchy. I was even kind of worried that maybe in the end they were going to force that to an overtime thriller, but nah, B4 hang on, and that was really well played by them.
That it was. Beautifully done.